It's Sunday the 10th of January and I've just made myself a cup of tea. This is my second to last maple tea that Mioka sent me. I love it. I've been rationing them. It's really cold today. It's 2 degrees. But it feels much chillier than that. We've got frost. This morning when I woke up was absolutely beautiful. We've had a couple of really gorgeous sunrises. I'm just going to sit here for a while until the fire gets going. I'm trying to light it with the minimum of kindling because that's all I have at the moment. Ted's up in the barn now and he's cutting some more kindling, so it'll be fine. I have plenty for the week. We're homeschooling, so trying to keep warm because when you're sitting down at a desk, it does get a bit chilly. This time round, homeschooling feels a bit better. We've only done it for 3 days last week and it was only Wilf that had started back. Bill starts back Monday and Ted had just assignments to do in his own time last week. So Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, Wilfred was plugged into live lessons and it seemed to go really well. The teacher sent a report out at the end of Friday afternoon saying that from her perspective, she thinks it's going to work and it's going well. So hopefully, although they say the kids will be going back after half term in February, I don't hold out much hope for that. So realistically, oh no, this fire's about to really smoke out the whole room. Oh, come on, get going. Smoke coming everywhere. I'm rubbish at lighting fires sometimes. I go through a phase of lighting them like... I'm just going to have to cut that bit out because I don't know what I was doing or saying. I was trying to say amazing ninja and I ended up kind of stuttering over the yeah, and then I can't light a fire and I smoke the whole house out. Yeah, so rambling already. Don't know if anything I've said has ever got to the point. Not to worry. Take a sip of my tea. So New Year and my head is bursting. I was watching Sandra Cherryheart this morning and she's made her dust of snow wrap into like a cowl, a massive cowl, so it'll wrap around twice. I'm wondering if mine's too big to do that because I'm not wearing it as a wrap or a scarf. In fact, I've come to realise that a lot of what I've knitted or made is just not getting the love it should be. So I'm going to start to change things a bit, unravel a few things and start again. One of which is my boxy sweater because I'm doing a test knit for my friend Amy. Hold on. I'm keeping it in a bag from a mutual friend of ours, Deborah. She made this for me last Christmas. And inside the fabric's got castles. Can't really show. Yeah, there you go. There you see. Oh, I'm scattered today. I'm going off in a proper tangent. So I'm doing a test knit. It's her, I've forgotten what she's called them. These Byfeld. I'm just going to keep saying Byfeld. Mittens. And I'm doing them in some leftover Maybe Baby that she dyed up for me in a silk blend, held together with a little bit of silk mohair in almost the same colour. And I'm absolutely loving the fabric. It's so soft. And my boxy that I knitted in the Maybe Baby, that this is the leftovers of, is not getting the love. It's not getting the wear. There's something about the fit of the back that I don't like. There's something about the stitches on the shoulder I'm not keen on. So I'm going to unravel it. I'm going to order some more of this stuff. And I'm going to hold it together with this stuff. And I'm going to have to vacate this room before I die of being overcome with smoke. Okay, I'm back. The fire is lit. There's still smoke in the air, but it isn't horrendous. It's not warm in here because I had to open the window. Oh, I keep getting interrupted. Yeah. And the dogs are going to be in and out. I don't know why I bother. This is why I vlog rather than podcast, because vlogs, they work better with all the interruptions, don't they? I was chatting about the Byfeld mitten. Don't even know if I'm saying it right. I didn't print out the first page, so I'm going by memory, and I might be calling it the wrong thing. If I've called it the wrong thing, then I'll have written it on the screen. But actually, because I'm test knitting it, I might feed that back to Amy and just say, look, it'd be really handy if you wrote on the pattern on each page, not just the page number, but what the pattern is of, because Amy makes all of her patterns so beautiful with this coloured border. So this could easily be the Killarney scarf or the Whitmore sweater or cardigan. She's got that one coming out, so I'll tell her that. So I am really enjoying this. I was enjoying making the bobbles and the cables so much that I forgot to do the thumb gusset increases, but I whipped this up in about less than an hour. Didn't take long at all because it's on 3.5 needles and it's quite addictive as well. It's so soft. I've popped one of Amy's charms on there. She gave me that last year, I think, in my Christmas box. There's a little group of us and we all did a little Christmas box swap. It was so nice. This year I didn't sign up for any swaps. I didn't agree with any friends to do swaps. I completely limited Christmas present buying and what have you. And it felt really weird. And it feels even weirder now that I'm catching up with Vlogmas, and I'm seeing lots of my friends that did do the swaps, and I knew about the swaps and I was invited to join in, but I just said that, you know, not this year, maybe next year. Now I'm really regretting it. I feel really left out. But I just have to remember how relaxed it made me feel, not having that added layer of things to think about. And actually, as much as this Christmas was not what anybody had hoped for or expected or even planned for until the last minute, because you probably are aware that a week before Christmas, we were all systems go to be able to have 3 households join together for 5 days to spend the Christmas period. And then just before, I think it was the Saturday before Christmas fell on the following Friday, an announcement was made that you could have 3 households together on Christmas Day if you weren't in tier 4. But you couldn't spend the night, which, I mean, it didn't make sense to me anyway, because surely if you spend half an hour with somebody with the virus, you might as well spend 5 days with them because you're likely to catch it. Let's not even go into that. But we had been hoping to have Toby's family here, and it didn't happen. But we did have an incredibly memorable and enjoyable Christmas, and I vlogged about it, and the majority of people who have commented said how much they enjoyed seeing the fun that we had. I'm sure there are people that watched it and felt a bit wistful or sad, or, you know, because not everybody has had a great Christmas. And I hope that my vlog didn't rub anybody's nose in it. However, I know it must have rubbed some people's nose in it, because I had a troll say I should be ashamed of that post, because there are people out there homeless with nothing, dying of COVID-19. It did make me wonder, because the person who left that comment clearly isn't homeless or dying of COVID-19 and has the luxury of time to leave a message like that using some sort of device. So it was rather hypocritical, but anyway, it did make me think, oh, do you know what? Not everybody was able to have a pleasant Christmas. Maybe my vlog could have rubbed salt in the wounds, but then where do we go from there? Not, you know, you can't make it a level playing field. I have had awful Christmases, bleak, miserable Christmases, and I've had glorious Christmases. Don't we all? Don't we all? We've all experienced some sort of heartache around Christmas time. So anyway, jabbering on. So they're the Byfeld mittens. I'm loving them as a test knit, and they really have got me thinking about ripping out my boxy and repurposing the yarn. I'm thinking a Trescal jumper with that yarn. I'll continue thinking of it. So as I said, I didn't participate in any swaps or exchanging of advents or gifts with anyone this year, but, and I mentioned this in my Vlogmas, Loma and Echo, sorry about that, another phone call, Loma and Echo Roggen Camp were taking part in a fabric scrap swap, and they included myself in it, and also Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, This Little Wonderful Life. She's got 2 channels. One of them she podcasts on, Little Drops of Wonderful, and the other one, This Little Wonderful Life, is where she's going to be doing all of her vlogs, and she did her Vlogmas on that channel, and she spoke about the fabric advent calendar that the girls had sent her, and looking at her video and seeing what they sent her, and then looking at what they sent me, it just ramped up my appreciation of the level of thought that they put into this, because everything they gave Ali loved, but it wouldn't have been my style, my taste. Ali and I, we're great friends, but we would both be the first to admit that my world is by no way colourful enough for what Ali seeks, and her world is too colourful for me. I'm quite scared of yellow, and that's her favourite colour. I'm joking when I say that. Anyway, each day I had a little envelope like this to open, a homemade envelope. I've looked up online how to make these envelopes, and I just think they're so lovely. And some days came with a stash of tea. It's called stash. That's why stash came into my head then, I'm sure. They sent fudge from Blue Earth. They're from Blue Earth, Minnesota, which is where the Jolly Green Giant comes from. Didn't know that. And oh look, there's my Strictly sock pin. Wondered where that had gone. And let's see, got a zipper pull here. That's going to be really handy because my crazy dog walking cagoule, I think the zip's going on it already because it was cheap and rubbish. Yeah, I'll show you some of the fabric. Dogs keep barking. The Jolly Green Giant pin, put that there. I think most of this fabric came from a place called Michelle's Quilting and Sewing Centre. And every day, or often, not always every day, there was a little note just explaining what the things are. So here we go. I hope and wish you a great holiday. Hope you have enjoyed your Advent and treats. Enclosed is a fat quarter of Minnesota Shop Hop fabric, along with a postcard with the green giant in Blue Earth, Minnesota. So this has got all sorts of things to do with Minnesota. So Minnesota sayings like "you betcha" and "Minnesota nice" and the North Star State, land of 10,000 lakes. Is that Uftar or Uldar? Anyway, some zany fabric. Oh, I'm so scattered. So let me show you some of my favourites out of this. Dogs are in now and they're playing at my feet. And I'm going to make an Irish chain quilt. Look. I'm sorry about the light. Oh, look at this, so sweet with hearts. I hope that's focusing. I can't tell because I haven't got my goggles on. Just gorgeous. That's my plan with that. And I'm so grateful to the ladies for picking me to receive one of these, because I enjoyed it so much, and the sweet treats that they sent were delicious. There was this one thing called I want to say Alibaba. It was a crocodile. It didn't look like a crocodile, but that's what it was called. It was a little chocolate. It was a sea salted caramel chocolate, and it was amazing. And the Blue Earth fudge, so good. I haven't had any of these teas yet. I shall put them, now I've showed you, I shall pop them in my little tea caddy, and I'll write on the back who they're from. Yeah, I just, ladies, if you're watching this, I know I've thanked you personally and privately, but I just publicly want to thank you so much for selecting me and just saying to me, we're sending you something, because it was just gorgeous. Look at that. That'll make such a lovely quilt. I think I'm going to find some, I'm sure I've got some curtain lining calico in my fabric stash. So I think I'm going to do that. Can you hear that now? What is that? Just having a fertile about, see what else I want to talk to you about next. Lots of you, I am sure, will already be aware of the Rainbow Sock Chronicles that is being run by Lay Family Yarns and So Sweet Violet. So that's Jules and Kelly, two friends of mine who are also friends with each other. I love how we're all friends together. It's so lovely. They are doing the Rainbow Sock Chronicles. So each month you knit one of the colours, something in one of the colours of the rainbow, and you can enter into the dog's digging now. Margot is digging. She digs so much she's dug a hole in her bed. You're a monkey, come here. Come and say hello. Because I think Fleur's probably missing you. Oh, hello. Hello, Fleur. Hello. She can hear something. When she went to the groomers, she wouldn't behave, so they trimmed her ears in a really weird way. She doesn't look like herself. Do you, Poodle? So the Rainbow Sock Chronicles is knitting a pair of socks or something in the colour of the month. Kelly is dyeing up colourways. Jules has created and is selling, I think Kelly might be selling them too, these lovely presentation boxes, magnetic closure. And there's prizes to be won if you enter into a thread on Ravelry. If you knit something with Kelly's yarn, you get an entry. If you knit one of Jules's patterns, you get an entry. I think if you knit with the yarn and the pattern, well, yeah, that'll be 2 entries, obviously, because you're covering both bases. It's all good fun, and there'll be wonderful prizes. I would quite like to join in. I don't know how realistic this is, because when I decided I was going to join in, I wasn't going to be managing 3 children who are homeschooling. Now, don't get me wrong, Wilfred has live lessons. Ted will have live lessons. Bill will have live lessons. But I need to make sure that everybody is where they need to be, when they need to be, with what they need. I need to be the tech support. I need to be the troubleshooter for the printer. So Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, every 15 minutes, give or take, I was needed to help facilitate something, and that was just for Wilf. So how it will be, I think Ted's he'll be self-sufficient, I'm sure. Bill's going to need a lot of support, naturally. Of course, he's going to need a lot of support. So I don't know how feasible it's going to be for me to participate in the way that I wanted to, which was I wanted to dye up skeins of yarn myself for whichever colour of the month, using botanical dyes. So I was going to knit a sock each month, a pair of socks, using one of Jules's patterns, and or using Kelly's yarn. I've got so much of Lay Family yarn for heels, toes and cuffs, and then the body to be dyed botanically. I got these 2 books for Christmas. I've read half of this one and forgotten everything I read, so I'm gonna have to go back to it. Haven't even opened this one yet. So it's something for me to think about, but I wanted to mention it here because although I know that nearly all of you that watch this watch Kelly and Jules, it's just a really fun thing to join in with, and it's all over Instagram. And I thought it's worth mentioning here because, well, if I can't join in, at least I can enjoy watching and prowling the hashtag. Next thing in my Helen bag, which is from my friend Ali, who lives so far up north in an incredible part of the world in Aberdeenshire. We've never met, but we WhatsApp pretty regularly, and I love her messages. She's a gorgeous lady, but she is a friend of a real life friend of mine, Annabelle. They've met and go out for coffees and talk all the time. I'm sorry this is so disjointed. In here I have got some Dandelion and Dogwood yarn. This is the Surrey silk alpaca in Latte, and this is fingering in Latte. I think I can't remember what the bases are. Let me see. Fairground is the Surrey, and then this is the I can't remember what they call it, but it's the sock, and it's the combination I knitted my Whitmore sweater in, and I love it. And I'm going to make a hat out of that because I know it is 0 itch, so comfortable. Marco, please. I'm going to knit this hat. I saw this hat on Hannah's podcast. What's it called? Tales of Yarnia, I'm sure. Yeah, she's Yarnia Designs, and her podcast is Tales of Yarnia. I'll link it below. And I saw this hat and thought, oh, I love that. And at the time, I knew that Amy was designing these mittens. She'd been showing us on our WhatsApp. And I thought, oh, they would go together nicely. And although they're, you know, they're not the same colours, it's a bit like Neapolitan ice cream. So I thought, right, I shall knit this hat when it comes out. Yeah.
When COVID is over, can I one day scoot down to Nelsey Skate Park?
That's 8 miles away, Bill.
I don't care. It could be for a workout.
For a workout, 8
But
miles.
like in the summer.
In the summer. 8 miles is a long way. What about, I've had an idea. What about when COVID's over, I drive us to Julie's house and you can skate from Julie's house to the skate park. Yeah, but it's still a long way. It's a mile.
I don't care if it's a mile.
But you can scoot, and you've got some good dippy bits to go, and you've got a pavement as well.
What for?
From Julie's, yeah.
Oh, dippy bits.
So should we do that in the summer then, love? Rather than you scoot from here 8 miles.
Even if COVID is not over and it's gone down a bit, can we do it?
As soon as we're allowed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand. Bless him. Yeah, so I left a message saying, oh, looking forward to that hat pattern being released. I'm going to knit that. So when she released it, Hannah and I know each other through Flock, which Bird Street UK, oh, they've had a name change now. Formerly Mr. B's Yarns and Bird Street UK. They've had a name change. I think they're Bird Street Yarns now. Claire, John and Bex. I think it was Claire and John would organise Flock, which was a gathering of people together to knit and natter and have a bit of a laugh. And there was always a pop-up shop, and John and Claire's yarn would be there, and Hannah was often there helping out. So I know Hannah, we've met a couple of times. So I left her a message saying I'm totally going to knit that hat, and then she said, oh, now Margot wants to go out. She said, what's your Ravelry name? I'm going to send you a couple of patterns for you to, I'm going to send you a pattern for you to knit as a gift, and would you like a couple to give away? So I'm going to be giving away one of the patterns here on today's vlog. So below, you'll need to leave a message, and on my Instagram. So if you want to enter into the Moonberry Hat pattern, I want you to say in your comments, so I can use random comment picker, pick me. I was just trying to think then of something a little bit more fun and original, but yeah, just say pick me. Oh, it's lovely. I can't wait to start that. But I've got a couple of things ahead of that I want to get off the needles. Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out, or were you barking at people walking past? What were you doing? Yeah, I want to get at least one test knit mitten done before casting this on, and I want to finish my oldest sweater, which I will chat about in a tick, because I've got a little knit along between myself and a friend that we're going to do, and she's already started. So it's not a race, but it's just the whole point of doing it was so that we could do it together and enjoy the process together. So, oh, Bun. Girls, you are nightmares. Who keeps stealing food? Who stole 2 pots of stew off the worktop last week and ate them. Was that you? Who keeps raiding the bin? Who ate Daddy's advent calendar? A very bad thing to do, Bunny. Could have been very poorly. Who nicked all the marshmallows and the biscuits from the hot chocolate kit at Christmas? It was you, wasn't it? Very bad. She's a very naughty puppy. You're a very naughty puppy. Oh, this is a very long vlog. Let's hope I managed to cut a load of bits out of it. Make it a little bit more manageable. Right, I'm doing my little micro knit along of the girlfriend cardigan with Kathrin. You know, I always try and say her name the way that she says it, and I always muller it, so I'm just going to call her Kathrin. From Bed of Roses. She's the lady who donated all of the knitters' necklaces. Now I've got everybody's address who won, and I will be sending those out pretty soon, but I'm holding off because we've had Brexit, and because our postal system is mental because of that, because borders got closed and because of COVID as well, and Christmas. I do not want these necklaces to get lost, but also I don't really want to go to the post office. I'm in hiding from COVID and I don't want to go out to the post office. And even if I did go out to the post office, our postal system is such a mess, and we have got issues at borders because of Brexit. So the things that were going to get posted out to Europe, I want to check that I can get a certain level of insurance because these necklaces are not cheap, but at the same time I don't want that to cause a massive customs charge for the winners, because I think that's awful if you win something and then you have to pay to receive your prize. So I've got things to look into. Back to Kathrin. Bed of Roses, my knit along with her, and some socks that I knitted. These are her, this is a pattern called One Fine Day, and I knitted these last year and didn't really give them their moment in the spotlight. Can you see? These are, the light's not great, it's kisses and circles, so like hugs and kisses. And the pattern called for 3 different yarns, so you did a contrast yarn here and then a second yarn, like a paler yarn here, so that you could see this pattern more distinctly, and then the body of the sock in the main colour. I wanted to use these yarns and I couldn't find a third colour that I liked. These are Bird Street yarns. I love them. So I'll link the pattern down below. This was such a nice thing to knit. Lots of little mini cables. If you're fancy, you don't even have to use a cable needle, but I needed to because I usually knit in poor light in the evenings. And if I've had a glass of wine, I haven't got a chance of not dropping a stitch. So I used a cable needle. But yeah, really, really enjoyed knitting those. And I'm going to take them off the sock blockers because these are going on my feet tomorrow. Thrilled with those. So one last thing before showing you my oldest sweater and then I'm off is I was flicking through a magazine that I was given the other day. I've got a friend who takes a lot of magazine subscriptions. She always buys them when you know, it's six magazines for 5 months. It's one of those deals where they hope that you forget to cancel. So anyway, she's always got magazines and she passes them on to me, which is lovely. And this is what caught my eye, and also my dodgy highlights just caught my eye. Look what I did to myself. Doesn't it too bad? Look at that. Gave myself highlights and they went blotchy and orange. Never mind. Anyway, it says here, wool uses significantly less energy during production than manufacturing man-made fibres. I thought that was really interesting. So go forth and knit, knitters. Let me grab my oldest sweater. My friend Carola, another friend I've never met, Instagram friend, beautiful woman, big supporter of my fundraising. She and I cast on, without planning, the same sweater at the same time. And we've been chatting about it, and both of us had to start a couple of times for one reason or another. Mine was because it was, can't remember now, I think I'd knitted it too small. I'd knitted a size that wasn't working out and my gauge was off. So I had to change my needles and change my size. And now I think I've got a sweater that's probably slightly bigger than I was hoping for, especially after it's blocked. I think it's going to stretch out, but that does mean I can wear things underneath it. So this is the oldest sweater. It's got a lovely construction on the shoulders. This is awkward. Hit myself in the face with a hanger. Oh, you still can't see that. Basically, on the front and the back, your increases come along like this and then come down like that to make the arm. So it ends up looking tailored. I said looks 3 times then. And it's got a seam detail on the back, which will benefit from blocking, certainly. That's just a purl stitch down the back. It has the same along the side and in the arm. Along the arm, it's a faux seam detail. It has a Latvian braid detail before the rib. That Latvian braid, oh, I love it. I love it. The only nuisance with it, it's Bunny just going, is that your yarn gets really, really tangled up as you're doing it, especially when you're doing a really long section like this. But it unravels when you're doing the second row, so that's quite cool, isn't it? Now, my tension on this is horrible because I was using my beloved Chalgu red lace interchangeables, but this yarn, which is beautiful, it's silky yak, was too slippery. I should have done it on bamboo needles or something, but I didn't. It doesn't matter because I think once it's blocked it will be fine. And actually it's just got that kind of rusticy sort of feeling to it. Oh, I did such an error. I'd managed to do a yarn over right about there, so there was a hole. It was like a nipple hole. I've sewn it up and you can't see where it was, so that's good. Managed to get away with that. What else have I done funny on this? Oh, the sleeves don't match. This one, I must have picked up too many stitches and I've ended up having to do more increases, so the increases come further down the arm, but I don't think anybody's going to be lifting up my arms and counting my increases, so I'm not worried about that. I think everything else that's not great about this will get better with a bit of blocking. I've literally got an inch or 2 of just round and round and round knitting to go, then the Latvian braid, then a couple of inches of rib, and then this lovely, I love the way she has you cast off. You do your rib, and then you do a purl row, I think it is, and then you cast off knitwise, and you end up with this very distinct edge. I really like it. I think I've just told you how to do that incorrectly, so don't do what I just said. Do what the pattern says. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to wearing that. I think I'll be wearing that next weekend, so that'd be nice. So it's 2:15. I'm going to stoke up the fire and wrap myself up warm, because Franca, she is in my family bubble, is coming up to throw the ball around for her dog in the paddock. But we will sit miles away from one another because, well, none of us have seen a soul. But she had to go to work last week, so she wants to make sure that we keep safe, so we sit miles apart. Even though in theory she can come back into the house, But our most local hospital is at capacity. They've shut A&E. It's full of COVID patients in a critical state, so if we fall ill, or if we break a leg or fall down the stairs, it's going to be pretty hard to find treatment around here. One last thing, what I'm wearing, this is not a nightie, this is a dress that I made some time ago, about 3-4 years ago. It's the Lily dress by Tessuti. You can print it out at home. It's one of those PDF patterns. And it's in this really soft brushed cotton fabric. It's got pockets, and it's got a funny little pleat detail on the hem. And it's nice and swishy and comfortable. It's just round neck, fitted on the shoulders. Yeah, it's just really, really easy and comfortable to wear, and a very nice thing to sew if you're new to sewing. Right, no idea how long this is, no idea how horribly disjointed it is, and I don't know whether I'll be bunging any sort of vlog stuff in on the end, so we'll see. It's going to be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. But thank you for watching. Thank you millions for the consistently gorgeous support and comments that you guys always bestow upon me. You're just the best. You're lovely. See you soon.